Hello, custom car enthusiasts, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This episode, we're going to work on the story mission car here. We have a Chieftain TBX. Hey, I'm a car mechanic just like you. At least I'm trying to be. My wife thinks that I don't know what I'm doing, and since I don't want to give her the satisfaction, she has no idea that I'm here. So how do I see how I did fixing my car, and if you find anything wrong, make it right. And if my wife ever asks, I was never here. Thanks, man. All right. This is going to be good, I think. All right. Well, I mean, the car looks good on the outside, so I guess that's a start. Okay. So basically, the entire engine's going to be a problem. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move it to car lifter A. Let's get this over there because we're going to need it. We'll go ahead and take the engine out and see how we could do from there. Alright, sorry about that delay. My dogs need my attention real fast. So let's see here. We're going to need to disconnect the drive shaft. Most of the car looks nice overall, but I have a feeling this engine bay could be a nightmare here. So let's see what we find. We find half an engine is what we find. All right then. We also don't have a battery box here. Wow. Alright then. This one's just going to be complicated because we're going to have to order all these parts without having anything to go off of really, other than, I mean, I've got my parts ordering list. I do somewhat wonder if I need to just go ahead and remove those, make it easier to get the engine out. It's like the parts of the engine we have look really good, but I think it's going to be easier for me. I don't know. Let's pull the engine out and see what we got here. How does somebody do this? Alright. Yeah, I mean, these parts could even still be worked on, so let's go ahead and take it all apart. Because it was saying the engine block's at like 88%, which is fine, but you know what? We're gonna make sure it's 100%. I am gonna have to order so many things for this engine. It's like we got half an engine. I mean, I get somebody having a hobby, and so if you want to build a car as your hobby, great. But don't call yourself a mechanic. This guy definitely is not one. He's pretty terrible at it, really. Well, I did notice also, I didn't even have to take the oil out. I completely forgot about that step. And, yeah, wasn't necessary because evidently there was no oil in the part of an engine we have, which is explained by the fact that I'm not even sure. Oh, there is an oil pan on there. All right. Is there a timing chain under here? Or a timing belt? Hey, we actually have that. That's a miracle. Yeah, I'm happy that I'm taking this apart because I'm seeing little bits of wear and stuff that could easily be fixed. And if we're going to do this amount of work to the engine, we might as well do that. Glad I didn't try to start the engine because that wouldn't have gone anywhere. Alright, let's get these out. So, as I said in a video of Judge Sim, I am wanting to go ahead and start getting through some of the games that I've had on my channel for some time and complete them finally. Not Judge Sim, You Are the Judge. You Are the Judge was the first one of those games that I wanted to go ahead and complete. This one is the second one here. So what I've sort of decided is my version of completing this is going to be a couple things. Once we get all these pieces done, then it'll be a bit easier to show you. So, the thing I care about the most is getting to level 35 so I can go ahead and be able to do the car body repairs. I don't care so much about trips to the junkyard and barns being cheaper, and I don't even know what this means. So, not going to worry about that too much. Really what I want is this, and then after we reach that level 35, we're going to do a couple of cars. We're going to do at least one that we get from an auction, and we're going to do at least another barn find so that we can completely rebuild both of them as they should be. Now let's see here. I think I should still be able to, yeah, I can just use this list here and hopefully be able to buy all these parts that we need. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you that update. That's what the plan is for the channel, is we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we've got several more videos coming out for this. I'm gonna play through them probably over a couple days time only instead of, you know, one per week. Because as I said, I'm trying to get a couple of the games off my schedule so that way I can focus on games when they come out a bit more easily. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. Hopefully it'll work out for the channel well, but we shall see as time goes on. For now though, let me go ahead and jump in here and start ordering this massive list of things that we need. Alright, so I believe that I have purchased everything that I need now. Yes, that was a long list of parts here. Let's hope it was all worthwhile. Get the crankshaft back in here. We'll get the pistons we had, plus the new ones, because we didn't have enough before. Alright. Now that they're in, we will go ahead and start locking them down in place along with the crankshaft itself. Then we get the oil pan all closed up. But yeah, as I was saying beforehand, really, I'm gonna probably end the series after I do a few of those cars, simply because of the fact that at that point, I really feel like I've achieved everything I sort of want to in the game. I've started to come to realize that while I really like simulation games, once you get to a certain point, it just becomes fairly repetitive. I mean, this is definitely not the first engine. It's not even the first V8 engine that I've rebuilt from the ground up, and it's not the first time I've had an engine brought to me that was missing a bunch of parts either. So it does get a little bit on the repetitive side. This one, I say, is one where I actually like it better than some of them, because it really does feel like you're working as a mechanic, and I really appreciate that. Um, if you've been a fan of the channel, you might have seen I recently did one called Church Sim, which while I enjoyed the game, it got very repetitive very quickly. And so that was a bit of a negative on that one. This one, yes, you're doing cars and stuff, but each car is sort of unique and different, and it really feels more like the job of actually being a mechanic. So I really do appreciate that overall. Um, to the point that I won't even say that I wouldn't return to this game at a point in time. You very well might see it in the future on the channel, or I know that I actually have a motorcycle game right now, a motorcycle mechanic game, in my Steam game collection. I don't know what you want to call it there, but on Steam I have a motorcycle game, so it is possible that I would look at having that as an option in the future. Or the other thing is, since I enjoyed this one so much, I definitely would not mind playing another car mechanic simulator game in the future also. So I can pretty much guarantee you this is not the last time, or when this series finishes. I don't want it to sound like this series is finishing in this video. Realistically, I'm guessing there's probably at least 10 more weeks of videos coming out for this series, because we still have to reach level 35, and then we're going to have story missions along the way that we're going to be doing. And then we're going to, as I said, I want to do at least one auction car and one barn find car. Now with sort of all the information I have on hand for it. So we'll see how that goes. By that point, maybe I'll have decided I want to keep the series going and just continue it from there. I don't know. But as I said, the point for me right now is there are so many games coming out. They're really high quality games, games that I'm enjoying and such. And I'm wanting to make room so that way I have the time to play those when they do come out. Having so many games that I'm trying to play at the same time right now, it's not a bad thing at all. I'm in no way complaining about it or saying that I don't like any of these games. I really do. But I feel like I would do a better job for the channel, and I'd enjoy it possibly a bit more if I sort of was able to just sit down and focus on one game and play it through over a week or two to its completion. Now, you guys will get that game over several months because I'll only put out one video per week on it, unless it's a new game. Then I'll do my daily releases. But in doing it that way, I get the enjoyment of sort of being involved in the game instead of just stopping and starting. This is a perfect game as an example of that. Oftentimes when I am thinking, oh, I should play some Car Mechanic Simulator because I need a video for this week, I really just don't feel into it at all. I don't know why it is, but there's just times where it's like, oh, I really don't want to play it, but I need that video for the particular week. Then once I play it for a little bit, I'm involved, I'm enjoying it, I'm really not wanting to stop. But then the problem will be, oh, well then I need a supermarket simulator video or something for that week. By doing it this way, I can get into the game and I can really enjoy it more fully myself, and then move on to another game once I've sort of completed one. And my hope is, in that way, my enthusiasm for the game, and through it, your hopeful enjoyment of the game will be a bit more. So we'll see how that goes. As I said, I'm always sort of considering things, changing things up on the channel, trying to find a balance that I feel works best for everything involving the channel. So probably this won't be the last time I say I've made a decision to change how I'm doing something on the channel, because I'll decide, you know, that didn't work as well, and I'll go with something else. For now, though, as I said, that's sort of my game plan. We'll see how it goes. I do appreciate all of you guys and your support for the channel. I appreciate the kind words you often give in your comments. It's really nice to hear. And I really appreciate how much you guys seem to be enjoying the channel overall. I am somewhat nervous that these valve rods are only at 88%. Hopefully that's not going to come back to cause me a problem. I almost wonder if I shouldn't have replaced all those parts as well. I wonder if I'll be able to see them when they're on the engine here, or if I have to put the engine back into the car in order to see if everything's okay. I guess we'll see here in a few moments. A lot more to the engine than there was before, because we actually have all the parts we needed. Though, as I said, my concern is some of these parts are the used parts. They didn't all get refurbished, so some are at 88% instead of the 100% that the new ones are. Let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't show any of that right now because I think it has to be in the engine bay. Alright, so everything is on that engine now. Let me go get the hoist again, and we'll hoist it back into place. See if that'll cover it, or if I'm going to get sort of bit by the fact that not all the parts are at 100%. Battery, yep, the valve push rods and the piston con rods. Darn it. All the other stuff is okay. So let me, for one, while I'm here, put the battery in place. Let's go ahead and hoist it back out. I knew it could be a problem. I was hoping it wasn't going to be. I also hate when it does this where it's... Let's do something else. Click that. There we go. Seriously, are you not gonna lift the engine out? Don't know why that occurs sometimes. There we go. Like the 5th time is the charm. And I really do want it out because I'm hoping I can just rotate it here to get to what I need to. I believe it was just the pistons and the con rods. Hopefully I don't have to take it all apart. I'm very apprehensive that I need to. Crap. Alright, let's disassemble a large portion of this engine. I just need to learn the lesson on these kind of engines. Throw everything away. Just throw every single piece away. Make the guy pay for the new engine. Click on the piece I'm trying to click on there. Come on. So much work has to be ripped out. All because of the fact that the silly parts weren't at 100%. So if you see on a future video here where I just replace everything, yeah, now you know why. Because even though the parts are quote-unquote good, they're not good enough, evidently. I mean, I know if I had put them in the same exact place where they were before, it would have said they were acceptable. It's like, why even give them to me then? Just let me have taken them off entirely and thrown them in the garbage. And I mean, you can't tell me that they were worn in those particular spots because there was only half an engine here, so nothing was worn in. They may have sat there and gotten old in those particular spots, but that's different than the engine running them in. I was debating if I wanted to record more than one episode today or not. Today is one of the days I work, so it was a fairly long night at work. Was hoping to have 2 fairly easy episodes here done today, but that is not to be because of this particular engine. I wish I could decide how much I charge people because I would charge this quote-unquote mechanic a lot of money. Alright, let's put everything in order by condition. Alright, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pistons and piston rings. Because we're throwing them all away. We're not playing with it anymore. He can pay the extra money. Alright. I hope that I would be charging him for the brand new parts and not giving him a discount because this is his own fault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Hopefully that was the right ones there because it did seem to change. Yeah, they're just in 2 different locations, but yeah, it is the right ones. Alright, perfect. Alright, 4 spark plugs now. I'm just annoyed on this one because I was actually trying to be nice to this guy and not buying him stuff that he had to save him a little bit of money. And my nicety here cost me in the end. So, lesson learned, just pass it on to the consumer. It's like, especially when the consumer is this guy and is at fault for what's going on anyways. Why is a crankshaft bearing cap missing? Did I take that one off by accident? Must have. This is the part where I will enjoy working on my own vehicles in the upcoming episodes, because then I can sort of do them as I want, not having to deal with what the customer is bringing me as far as just absolute junk. Now the fun part of putting in all the push rods again, as well as the rocker arms. It's the part that I like least of this engine. I mean, on an actual running one, perfectly fine. It's just very tedious here in the game trying to highlight the tiny little spot that you have to click on in order to put the arms in, the push rods in place. I know it is much more tedious on an actual car doing this, because you have to make sure they're all at the right height, all tightened down to the correct specs. I just press the button once and it turns it. So I do definitely appreciate how they did water it down a bit and make life a lot simpler than it could have been. Alright, on to this side. Put in the wiring harness. See, that's the part that kills me, is you're just slightly off and it will say, oh, you're not clicking on the thing you need. least we didn't have to take the front of the engine off, so that was a benefit. The fact that we had to take off the carb and everything was a bit of an annoyance, though. Alright. Okay, good. I saw that the cam gear and stuff wasn't perfect. I'm like, if it says it's not okay now, I am going to lose it, I think. Let's pour some oil into it. Then we have to attach the gearbox, the exhaust, and the drive shaft. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the color of that car. Alright, this doesn't want to move again. Sometimes it only wants to be clicked from the one side, it seems. Not sure why that is. Alright. And with that, the car is done. That was a lot more headache than it was really worth there. See if there's anything here that really grabs my attention. I mean this, but I don't really feel like doing shocks in the future here. This one would be a nice, easy turnaround one, but nothing too impressive. So we're just gonna wait till we get to the next episode and see what vehicles are available then. For now, though, if you enjoyed what I did in this episode, please go ahead and click that like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so they're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all back for more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.